we've heard plenty in recent weeks about bedbug outbreaks sweeping through Paris and other French cities. Pest controllers have been out in their droves as residents and tourists reported infested bedrooms. And you can see pictures there, I think, from UK trains. Now, there's also videos online, like the one that we've just seen, apparently showing a bedbug on a train seat in France. And there have been sightings in Paris cinemas. Now, there are suggestions that they've been spotted on the London Underground, as well as a couple of reported sightings on trains in the north of England. London Mayor David Cain has been saying that he's consulting with officials in Paris. Transport for London and Eurostar have said they're disinfecting cranes regularly. So how worried should we be? Is there really an increase in bedbugs or just more awareness of them? And if they have spread from Paris to London, how long until they reach more corners of the UK? We're joined now by expert David Cain from BedBugs Limited. David, I must confess I've got a personal interest in this. I'm taking the Eurostar to France on Monday. Am I in for big trouble? Has there been a huge increase in bedbugs?
OK, over the last 20 years, bedbugs have slowly increased as a problem and come back into society. Mm-hmm. At their peak in the 1940s and 50s, a third of all homes were infected. After the Second World War, someone invented synthetic insecticides. They shamed everyone into getting treated at the same time. We thought the problem had gone away. It started to creep back in the 90s. And I've literally watched the problem come back at almost an exponential growth over the last 20 years. So are we to be worried about bedbugs in Paris? We should actually be equally worried about the bedbugs we already have in London. And in about 2010, we did a big FOI survey across the whole country. And we already know that all of the major cities were having a problem then. So we can assume that they are today because everywhere has grown up with bedbugs.
So this isn't, so basically the problem has been getting worse and worse. This isn't a sort of a specific explosion. There isn't a one-of-a-kind incident in Paris which we are afraid is going to come over to London. This problem is already a problem here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you look a couple of years back and we were talking about the bedbug problem in Manhattan, in cinemas, in shops, in retail spaces, hospitals, etc. So every couple of years we get a focus on a particular city because it's either got really bad or members of the public in that city have had enough. They start taking videos of bedbugs where they find them, posting them on social media and demanding that the authorities take some action and start fixing the problem.
Now, I know that there's been some sort of psychological event happening here because we're all sort of kind of feeling a little bit itchy. But David, let's get your thoughts on this. These are videos that have been posted online of bedbugs, apparently on the tube. Now, you can see that on the screen. Now, in your view, is that a bed bug or is it just a bug? Because that's also what's happening. I know it's hard to say.
I'd have to pause it and zoom in.
Yeah.
That one I'm not too sure about, but I did see one the other day that was 100% a bed bug. They have a very distinctive way of crawling and moving, and you can't mistake.
Oh, there we go. Is it that one?
Yes, it's this one. Right, that is most definitely a bed bug.
And that's on the London Tube. That was on the Victoria line.
Yep.
You're about to get onto the Victoria, apparently, we should say apparently. OK. I guess we should... Belinda. I think Belinda wants to run out.
And actually, this is one of the interesting things that bedbugs do is there is kind of an ingrained genetic trauma that we can have.
Yeah.
And it's not Belinda's previous exposure to bedbugs. It may be one of your relatives from the previous 300 years. The moment the subject even comes up, all of that re-triggers and you find yourself wanting to flee, wanting to scratch, wanting to burn things.
Ghost of ancestors past.
OK, we've got questions coming in, but before we just get to those, I know you've brought some in and I just want to show people. So I'm going to put this here. What are we looking at now here, just here on the bottom? Okay.
Just in the bottom corner there, you'll see some dead bed bugs and some papery thin cast-off skins of bed bugs.
Right.
And the little black dots on the white piece of paper, well, they're the fecal traces on the detections.
Lovely. OK.
So when you travel, before you sleep in the bed, 3 to 5 minutes, lift the mattress, look at the head end of it. Any of those 3 classic signs, check into a different room and you've avoided the problem in the first place. So that's
Okay.
the easiest bit of information.
I know that the fecal dots were horrific to talk about, but they're useful because that's where you know that you've got bed bugs.
And they don't move. So they're the one thing that you can look for that's going to be stuck in place.
OK. Why do I feel so itchy? Right, let's take some of your questions. Harry in Liverpool. Good afternoon, Harry. What would you like to ask?
Hello, Alexis.
Hi.
Yeah, I've been getting blood spots on my sheets. I can't see the little blighters, but what I did is I got a can of fly spray and sprayed the whole bed, which I think was a stupid thing because the bed I did ever since, and I can't see the blighters. How do I get rid of them?
OK, I think you got your answer there. I think the fly spray was not a good idea, possibly.
OK, now, blood spots on the sheets indicate a problem, but don't confirm it's as bed bugs. So if they were bright red, then actually I would say, where on the sheets were they? If they were under the places that you lie, it's most likely to be an allergic reaction to dust mites.
OK.
And therefore, putting a protective barrier or a mattress topper on the bed will be the solution and get on with life as normal. If you don't see and confirm bed bugs, do not treat for bed bugs, because if you get it wrong, you're making your environment toxic for no reason.
And I'm sure that spraying disinfect or sort of anti-fly spray and then sleeping on it's probably not the best thing to do.
Not a fantastic idea for your own health, but also for the bed bugs, because they're so resistant to insecticides nowadays that spraying a can of spray, very ineffective, because most of the professional insecticides aren't working either.
OK. Jenny, I know
my friend had bed bugs. She had a newborn baby and found bed bugs in the cot mattress, which is really disgusting. It was so expensive to get rid of them. Why is it so expensive?
OK. Part of the problem is that there are different approaches to fixing the problem. So back in about 2010, the Americans came up with what they thought was a great idea, which was cooking and heating the whole home. Now, the problem with that process is it's very expensive for energy, it's very bad for the environment, doesn't always work, because when the home is cooked to above 52, it kills everything that's inside. But the problem is, if you pick up bed bugs the next day when the house has cooled down and bring them back, it doesn't work. So a lot of people panic and think, I can't use chemicals. What about my child? What about my environment? They are in a state of crisis. So they make a panic decision. They go for a very expensive service that was never going to work in the first place.
OK, let's take another call. Margaret in London. Good afternoon, Margaret. What would you like to ask?
Hello, Alexis.
Hi.
I had an awful time, since Easter, and it was terrible. I saw a few in my pillowcase and in my bed, and I thought, and I just, not much, and I cleared it all up. And then, I thought myself, maybe it's coming from the carpet, because it's an old carpet I had. So I had that removed, and I got the fella to put down the new lino, everything sealed and everything. I thought, that's good, that's gone. And I had bought a new, a bed, a new bed.
Right, new
mattress. Bought a new bed, and I was all right for a little while. And lo and behold,
So they kept coming back, Margaret? They kept coming back. Let me pause you there because I know we're short on time. So let's deal with the particulars. Where should you look? We've talked about the sheets to look at for the spots. And what do you do if you find some?
OK, so what we'd advise is that on average you spend 180 hours a month sleeping in your bed.
Yeah.
So once a month, take the sheets off your bed, vacuum around the top of the mattress, turn the mattress upside down, do the underside. Lift the mattress off the bed, vacuum through the frame of the bed, or if it's a divan one, tip it up and go through underneath. So at that stage, when you're in the base of the bed, live samples, car skins, fecal traces. If you have a monitor installed like this, all you need to do is check the outside of that. Right. If there is a problem and you've caught it quickly, remove and replace the monitor. Otherwise, speak to your landlord, get professional help, because this isn't a problem that people are very good at getting rid of themselves, because it requires experience. And at the end of the day, who wants to live through multiple infestations of bed bugs?
We're getting a lot of social media postings of people saying what you need to do if you come back from holiday, for example, put all your clothes or put your sheets in a bag and put them in the freezer. Does any of that stuff work?
No. I mean, in a normal domestic setting, you'd have to have a chest freezer, you'd have to put them inside and not open the door again for 21 days. That's just not feasible. We do have a decontamination facility in South London where we use a form of freezing, but the temperatures we're using are cryogenically low. So we can get through it faster, but in a normal domestic setting, your freezer isn't good enough.
What about travelling on public transport? A lot of people are worried about sitting down on the tube, sitting on trains. They're both nodding. What's your advice?
Okay, now it's difficult. If you have a long journey to take, please check the edge of the seat, the little dark corners, the tufting and around. My personal recommendation, but there's only 4 of them per carriage, you know the lean-on seats at the end of the carriage?
Yeah.
That's where I go to, because I stand there, I look at the perimeter, live samples, car skins, faecal traces, and then I lean on it. So if I'm comfortable enough to do that, I'll take the journey there.
Do not sit. And one very, very quick one we had sent in. If you are bitten, should you be worried? A bite's bad.
Okay, bites aren't horrifically bad. They're not going to kill you, but they are very irritating. Best thing to do, baking soda, ice cubes, swirl it round, apply it, it'll get rid of the itch.
Wonderful stuff. Gosh, we could have done another half hour on you. Thank you, David. Really informative.